Welcome to Divine Love Tarot. I want to thank you and welcome you to my channel, whether it's your first time here or you return viewer or subscriber. I hope that this message resonates and helps you in some way. If you find that it doesn't, just keep in mind that this is a general reading and they do not resonate for everyone. And you may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, or even your Venus sign, because sometimes those are more prominent in your chart. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hey there, Aries, and welcome to your February 2019 general reading with Divine Love Tarot. If you guys have been with me since the beginning, you know I used to do general readings, and then I kind of just got caught up in doing different love readings. But here I am back to doing general readings, okay, guys? So make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy the reading, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like and enjoy the reading, okay, guys? And if you are subscribed already, make sure you hit the notification bell. I get a lot of people telling me they don't know when I'm dropping readings, and it's like, well, get the notification, okay? And then if you're still having problems, then we all have to write you to the letter, okay? But let's go ahead and get into this reading, okay? So I'm going to pull 5 cards for the reading. 1 card is going to be the overall energy for the month, 4 weekly cards, and then I'll pull clarifiers for each of those weekly cards, okay? So this is a general reading, but let's not be surprised if love shows up, because, you know, a lot of people do have love on the brain, okay? So Aries, let's go ahead and get into it, all right? The card that represents the overall energy for this month, or the theme of this month, got the Page of Cups in the reverse. Okay, the first week of the month, you're dealing with the 4 of Swords. Next week, you're dealing with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. The next week, you're dealing with the Knight of Pentacles. And in the last week of the month, you're dealing with the Page of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, I'm sorry, in the reverse, okay? And so, starting off with the Page of Cups in the reverse, okay? Some of you, if you do have children, you know, your child may be giving you a hard time. They may be acting like a bit of a brat. If it's not a child, some of you may be dealing with a breakup, or just, you know, immaturity issues in relationships. For others of you, this can represent a bit of codependency, okay? So we'll see what it is going on for you during this month. All right, so the first week we're dealing with the 4 of Swords in the reverse. So for some of you, things are a little bit chaotic right now, okay? Things may be a little bit stressful. You're feeling like, you know, you can't find any time or any quiet time to yourself. You know, the 4 of Swords may be representing a bit of anxiety. You know, you're restless. For some of you, if there isn't anything going on, you're ready for some action. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify that 4 of Swords. And we get the Hermit. And I feel like the Hermit's like Aries. Take some time, okay? Things aren't happening for a reason. You should be taking this time to really meditate on your situation and see why things are happening the way that they're happening, or why something isn't happening the way that you would like it to happen. For those of you who are dealing with someone who represents the Page of Cups, you know, you may not be dealing with this person, or you may not be talking to this person, or again, some of you may be dealing with the issues of codependency. All right, but the Hermit is really here to tell you, listen, your inner voice can help to guide you, okay? Dig deep. Dig deep, stop, you know, looking for external stimulation, and really get to the bottom of what it is that motivates you and drives you, and also get to the bottom of whatever, you know, things that you may be dealing with, okay? Let me go ahead and pull 1 more card for the week. And we get the Devil in the reverse, okay? So some of you are dealing with issues of codependency. Also with this Devil in reverse, some of you are dealing with recovery, okay? Some of you have left a situation behind, and so you may, as much as you're used to things being, you know, over the top, or there always be something going on, or there being drama, whatever it is, things may be quiet for you now, and you're kind of trying to recover, or you should be taking this time, I think, I mean to say more. You should be taking this time to recover from what happened versus, trying to jump into the next situation or looking for something to take your mind off of things, okay? This devil in the reverse can deal with, for some of you, the situation might have even been very abusive. So that's going to resonate for a few people. Moving on to the second week, we've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So you might be a little bit bored, Aries, okay? You're like, yo, there's nothing happening right now. All right? The Page of Pentacles, though, can also indicate the lack of focus, okay? So, I just had something that I was going to say and it just totally drifted away. But your focus may be off, okay? And especially if you've been very introspective or you've embraced the need for introspection, then we kind of, get lost in our thoughts sometimes. So I can see with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. But also the Page of Pentacles in reverse can indicate bad advice. So there may be people around you who are telling you, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should handle things this way. And it may not even work for you, or, it may work for them, but that may not necessarily be what you need to do, okay? So let's go ahead and clarify this Page of Pentacles. And we get the Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah, the advice is not great and it's going to have you up at night. Or you took bad advice from someone and you're realizing it wasn't good advice, and maybe that's why your situation is a little bit topsy-turvy right now. And so now you're stressing and you're thinking and you're overthinking and you're wondering, oh, what, maybe if I had done things differently, it would have turned out differently, So you're definitely some of you are dealing with depression. Some of you are dealing with anxiety or grief. You may be having nightmares, some of you. For a few of you, you may even have to check yourself into some type of rehab, especially if the codependency is connected to drinking too much, okay? So for some of you, there is someone here who has an issue with drinking, or someone who's dealing with someone who has an issue of drinking, and they may really need to get into some rehab in order to help them with the particular issue that they're dealing with, all right? So let's go ahead and pull one more card for the second week of February. And we get, we get the Ten of Pentacles. So for some of you, this worry is connected to a marriage, okay, or a long-term committed type of a situation. For others of you, it's just connected to your security, okay, or the support. So maybe, for some of you, this is a breakup, or this is a situation where, it may cause a breakup, okay? Something may have happened that may instigate the talk of a breakup or instigated a temporary breakup. And so you're worrying about the security of the situation, whether it's a relationship. For those of you who are dealing with, like I said, in the codependency issues or whatever, you're worried about the security of your situation, okay? Your livelihood, your family, your friends, you're worried that you've gone too far this time for some of you, and, is this going to mess everything up? But I feel like this Ten of Pentacles is letting you know that your foundation is sturdier than you think, okay? So for some of you, it's almost like this card is reassuring you, take the time that you need, okay, to get over what it is that you're dealing with, whether it's alcohol, whether it's a relationship, whether it's, just the way that you've been connecting with the various people in your life, okay? And be confident knowing that you have a secure base, okay? Moving into the second week, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so things are kind of coming around from the Page of Pentacles in reverse, okay? We've got the Knight of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is about things being more secure, okay, being more reliable, whether this is you, maybe the beginning of the month was just a bad time for you, and so by the third week you're kind of pulling it together, and you're taking things a little bit more slowly, but you're definitely working on your patience. For some of you, this may be traveling, okay, maybe you're taking a bit of a road trip. Also with this Knight of Pentacles, for some of you, this can indicate a possible job offer. So let's go ahead and see what this Knight of Pentacles is saying to us, guys. Okay. And we get the Emperor in reverse. So, Aries, this is your card, but the Emperor is in reverse here. So again, this is dealing with underlying issues of, insecurity, all right? Whether it's immaturity, okay? Maybe it's dealing with a big ego, okay? So for some of you, your issues, may be boiled down to or attributed to this underlying big ego that you may be dealing with, or you may be dealing with someone who has a big ego, okay? Or you're dealing with someone who's just not the most reliable. So it's like, here you are trying to get your things together, and then something either happens that triggers you to be off balance, okay? Or you're dealing with someone who isn't really balanced, because when we see the Emperor, this is a person who, especially emotionally, they don't really use logic. They tend to deal more with their emotions and how they feel at the time. So I think here you are really working on your patience, but at the end of it, you're still raw inside. And so it's some, I think it's a situation where you're easily triggered into being a little bit off balance. But it's, again, you got to give yourself some time. I know we want to, once we recognize we need healing, we want to be healed immediately, but some things take time, okay? So if you are dealing with something, Aries, give yourself time. Don't feel the need to rush. And the Knight of Pentacles is about taking your time, okay? So let's go ahead and pull one more card for this third week. And we got the World in reverse, because this chapter is not over. As much as you would like it to be, as much as you would like to move forward, this is going to, like I said, it's going to take some time. It's going to happen slowly. The World in reverse, it's unfinished business. For those of you who are planning a trip, this is travel, issues with travel. Also with the World in reverse, it's like you haven't learned your lesson yet. All right, guys? So just because you've got this Knight of Pentacles energy now, and you're trying to take it slow, and you're trying to do the right thing, and you're trying to be more reliable, all those things, you're not out of the woods yet, and you haven't quite learned your lesson. So there may be something, like I said, that triggers you, especially, for those of you who are dealing with codependency issues, whether it's sex, whether it's, emotional codependency, whether it's substance abuse, whatever it may be careful of putting yourself in situations that are going to trigger you, okay? Let's go ahead and move on to this last card for the month. We've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So the Four of Pentacles in the reverse is about being vulnerable. Okay, being vulnerable, kind of opening up yourself, letting your guard down just a little bit. So again, if you are dealing with some kind of issue, be careful, because you don't want to, make yourself vulnerable to being triggered, especially when you're working on healing, especially when you're working on, getting your focus back and getting, your patience and being more reliable and handling your business, okay? Also, the Four of Pentacles is about fear, and it's about that mindset. So some of you may still be dealing with, whether it's a fear of financial loss or a fear of the loss of your relationship, that fear is still kind of, running the show. All right, so we clarify that, and here we are with this Four of Swords in reverse again. So definitely, for some of you, you may be dealing with anxiety. Some of you, I think it's just you don't feel comfortable if you're not doing something. You don't feel comfortable when there's nothing going on. So for those of you who have been caught up, whether, like I said, it was a relationship, or, those of you who your social life was kind of out of control and you were partying and drinking, or socially drinking a lot, and that has now become a situation where you're drinking at home. You've gotten into this mode where you're used to things happening, and if there's nothing happening, you're bored, you're stressed, you start worrying. So it's almost like you're using other things to keep you occupied, because you don't want to focus. You don't want downtime. You don't want this hermit time. You don't want to be alone, Aries, because you don't want to focus. You feel like if you're alone and things are quiet, you're going to focus on whatever it is that's causing you, pain, or that's causing you sadness, or, you're going to have to focus on the fact that you're not quite happy with where you may be right now in your life, or in a relationship, or in your job, whatever it is. So it's like, even though you need to take that downtime. And even though you need to do some self-reflection, and for some of, for some of you, even though you need to get into that therapy or rehab, you're kind of still, grappling with this addiction and this need to always have something going on. Okay, because again, the Page of the Page of Cups, it's also about immaturity and how you handle things, okay? And, the codependency. So for some of you, you're not dealing with the breakup well, and you don't want to think about the breakup, so you're doing all these other things because you don't want to think about the breakup. Some of you, again, it's a substance abuse issue. And you got to be careful because you don't want to destroy, your relationship, your marriage for some of you, and your security, your financial security for others, okay? Now, this can definitely be someone that you're dealing with, so if this is not you, this energy isn't resonating with you, there could be someone in your life, or maybe this reading just isn't resonating. So I don't want you to feel like you have to take any of this and apply it to your situation, all right, guys? So let me go ahead and pull one more card for the last week of this month. And we've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse, okay? And so I think you want to be careful because sometimes it's like be careful what you wish for. You're bored and you're like anxious that, nothing going on. And then here comes, something unexpected, someone who's really moody. When I see this, either it's a person that doesn't have the best attitude, okay? This person is unpredictable, they're manipulative, they don't have a really good attitude. This could be you, okay? This could be you when you don't get your way, because the Knight of Swords can be someone who is a bit out of control, okay? And it's, it's someone who's deliberately mean sometimes or deliberately cruel. So you could be dealing with someone like that, and maybe that person is the trigger for everything that's going on. So if that's not your energy, then that's the energy of someone that you're dealing with. And at the end of the day, I think whether this was someone who's close to you, whether this was a parent growing up and this is like the basis, or the partner that you're with, this person is the trigger, okay? Or there is something that is the trigger. I really think it's a person that is the trigger. It's a person or a situation that triggers you, and then from there you spiral into doing things to try to take your mind off of whatever situation is that you're dealing with. Whether it's a person who questions you, questions your job, questions your work ethic, it's like they just pick you apart. Okay, so just when you think you have everything together, here goes this person, can't find anything good with you. They're always telling you everything you're doing wrong, and now you're going out again, or you're drinking again, or you're just, probably doing anything that's going to take your mind off of the issue. So I really feel like this is a specific reading because that energy is really strong. It's like, yes, the cards are here to be read, but a lot of times I can feel like the energy. And so, well, no, I always feel the energy. I'm more of a, I feel energy. So I can, as I'm doing the reading, I feel how you might feel, maybe sometimes even the other person. So this is definitely someone who makes you feel inadequate, okay? Or you make someone feel inadequate. And so if you're dealing with someone and you're not sure why they're acting the way that they're acting, and you may think you're being helpful. You may think it's constructive criticism. You may not even be doing it to be mean, but they feel like you're being cruel. And so when you nitpick at them, or when you feel like you're poking them or trying to push them in the right direction, it triggers them. And now their confidence goes down and they become unreliable, and they feel like, what? If I can't do anything right, then why even try? Why even bother? So for some of you, this is a cycle, okay? This is a recurring cycle of something that's been going on, whether it's you or a person that you're dealing with, but there is someone in your life that you either trigger to these levels or they trigger you to these levels. And so maybe the first step, if for those of you who do have substance abuse issues, or the person does, the first step is rehab. The first step is acknowledging that you have an issue and trying to get some help. And then the next step is addressing the, relationship codependency aspects of it, okay? So, sometimes, if you feel like you're over your head, it's time to call in some help, and really get things on track instead of trying to, do it yourself. And you feel like, you have your good days and you have your bad days. But, I think that those different messages, it's going to resonate for different people. So that has been your general reading for the month of February, guys. Whew. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the reading, if it resonated. Is this your energy, or are you dealing with someone in your life that has this energy and you're not sure what to do? If you would like a personal reading, guys can contact me for that. And make sure, again, that you like and subscribe to the channel. That's very helpful, especially the likes. The likes and the comment are super helpful. And I just like to hear the feedback from you guys. All right, so Aries, I will see you guys at the next reading. Bye, guys.